Hello, thank you for tuning in. My name is Larry Duncan Allen, and this is No More Water. Bye. Next time. I have an interesting subject tonight. It's talking about how we live in these people's heads, even though we're minding our own business. We're not bothering anyone, we're not protesting, minding our own business, but yet they want to keep bothering us. Some of those white podcasts trying to trying to blame black people for Charlie Kirk's death. Most of us didn't even know who he was. I know I didn't. I didn't know who he was until he died. Because I don't pay people like that any attention. I don't watch Fox News. When I do know about something that happened on Fox News, I saw it on a podcast or I saw it just like a snippet, TikTok or snippet, but I don't just go and watch Fox News. Even though I do what I do, I just think that stuff is so silly, I just don't want to see it. And but look, yeah, we're minding our own business. I heard some people say uh, black people don't have time to be putting boots on the ground and all that. We need to be out here strategizing and fighting. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. If black people stop enjoying ourselves because of some hard times, we would have never enjoyed ourselves. We've always had something coming at us, and we dealt with it, and we'll deal with what's coming now, like we always have. We built for this, these other folks are not. This man is so diabolical, he's mistreating his own woman now and his people. They're coming out telling the truth about how so many of them are on welfare and how bad they're living out there in the rural areas. If you notice the map on election day for the presidential election, most of the states are red. They become blue when they get to the large cities. The large cities has more people usually than the rest of the state combined. And that's why they're trying to gerrymander those cities. But you see, um, that's why when they say, I want to live in an all white town, you already do. We don't want black people coming. Why we want to come to some mess like that? Somebody you going to start goat herding and sheep and building cabins. Many of those white people in those rural areas are living worse than the black people who live in poverty in the cities. But they don't tell it. Some of them are telling it now. But why come they didn't been telling it? I remember one time there was a white man, they had to come get his children. This has been quite a while ago. And his children was malnourished. His entire family was malnourished. They had to, the DFS had to come and get them. And they asked them, said, why come you didn't go and get some food stamps? Well, I didn't want to seem like I'm an N-word. Yeah, but they eating, you not. You see, Lyndon Johnson said, I told you this before, but I have to keep saying it. Lyndon Johnson said, if you can teach the lowest white person that they're better than the highest black person, you can pick his pockets. Give him someone to look down on, he'll empty his pockets for you. Let me give you an example of that. Affirmative action. DEI. Black people didn't benefit much from those programs. You know why? When they started calling us, it was 14%, but then it went up to 17% because set aside because when they started calling us minorities, my phone ringing. When they started calling us minorities, that put us in the group with everyone else. We're not minorities. We're not people of color. We're black. We was here at the foundation of this nation before it was a nation. But what happened was white women was getting most of it. They're getting like 78% of DEI. And then with the Asians and everyone, black people was getting less than 1%. The Asians was getting more than black people. How they gauge it, I don't know, but that was the stats say. But excuse me. But look, they but look, when you put everyone together, black people, people of color, immigrants, white women, they're now the majority. I'm sure you where they pick your pockets and you don't even know it. Pick their pockets. I mean, they don't even know it. Who's got the 83%? White males. He's walking away with 83%. You busy looking at the little crumbs black people may be getting because they put a black face on it. And when they put a black face on it, they know you're going to be against it. Black people, that's why you see when they stopped it, it didn't hurt us. I know some black women lost a job. That was because when you started talking to minority status, they saw the black women as a double minority. So they were able to get jobs when black men couldn't. Black and woman, two for the price of one. They did throw it in our faces though. That's why it seems as though they're going after black women. They're not. They're going after black people because they're going after white women also. More white women, percentage wise and numeral wise, has lost jobs than black people, than black women. Black men haven't lost nothing. But you see, we but like I say, they when they put it a black face on it, they know the people are gonna hate it and don't. You know what's stopping this nation from getting free health care? White folks have said it. They don't want black people to get it. They rather pay all those high bills, and some of them, like most of them, don't even have health care. But they rather that happen than black people get free health care. Cause most modern nations has free health care. The United States is not doing as well. People always thought. They try to gauge by the stock market. That's not helping the people. There were people in China and everyone saying, yeah, you're the richest country, but most of your people are poor. It's not helping them any. What good you claim you got the best healthcare system in the world? The best healthcare system would be everyone can access it. And see, how can but while there's not much difference in the 20th ranked healthcare system and the first. Why would a person care about the number one healthcare system that they can't access? See, but they don't think like that. We do. They don't think like that. If they think they can hurt somebody, not hurt somebody, hurt black people, they're gonna do it. They'll say, I don't I don't want that Obamacare. I want affordable health care. That's Obamacare. Obamacare just a slang name for it. The affordable health care, that's Obamacare. But they don't know it. And they don't know how ridiculous they sound. But see, the thing is, we mind our own business, but we're still living in their heads 24/7. They're all over our social media pages, making all type of ridiculous, childish comments. I know these black people don't even pay them any attention no more. You know why they're all on our pages and we not on theirs? They keep clicking on the algorithms, keep sending it to them. We don't care about them. All you know, usual suspect. Come on, grow up. You've been calling us the same stuff for 400 years. We don't even have any racial names for white folks no more. We used to have names like Honky and Cracker back in the 20th century, and that was in response to many names that they were calling us. But we dropped that. We grew up, they didn't. We evolved. You've been calling people the N word for 400 years. You think that bothers someone? But you still get your head cracked because they know what you mean by it. You're talking against our race. It's just like a woman. See how they call each other the B word? Oh, be so and so. Oh, be so and so. But let a man call them that. They're going to get highly upset because they know it's a different meaning. when he says it. But it's elementary. They talk about this Charlie Kirk, how he would debate people and destroy them. You know what they would do? They would play sound bites of what he's saying, but not what the other person is saying. You can look like you destroyed anyone like that. And besides, you know who he debated? Those old people all that all that we need to get along and all that old stuff. They don't want to get along with you. Talking about black women so stupid you can't ask them nothing. You have to go ask a white person. They talked about black men, like we can't do anything right. Talking about we commit a lot of crime. You know what the crime statistics come from? Arrest. How many arrests was made? Look it up. The FBI crime statistics. You know what a lot of those black arrests are for? Traffic, misdemeanor. But it goes down in the crime stats. Look it up. Look it up for yourself. And you know who's the most arrested? There were black people even in filling up the prisons in the early 1900s, 1800s. Yeah, you throwing them in there for anything. If he talk back to a white man, he go to prison. If she talk back to a white boss, she go to jail. She try to stop a white boss from raping her, she go to prison. After hurt him, she go to prison. See, that ain't gonna happen now. Now you can talk to all that civil war you want to. You know they talk it, but they don't do it. Look when they talk civil war, who do they go and kill? White people. We don't care. How's they gonna make a civil war? Only one person killed some black people if they died on the roof in that church. And they didn't make no habit of that because they know they better not have. And he got the death penalty. I'm surprised Trump didn't try to let him out. I think he's on state charges, though. You can't let him out. But he'll try to get one of those governors to let him out. If you do, you see him walking down the street, he shouldn't be walking too long. Same with George Zimmerman when he killed Trayvon Martin. Tracy Martin got a little angry at me about something I said one time. He texted me. And I told him, well, I didn't mean to cause any problems for you, but I didn't apologize. That's Trayvon Martin's fault. Because I wasn't sorry for what I said. If I apologized, I'd be lying. Because you're not going to kill my son. Walk around here, they let you out. Come on, stand in your ground, you go start. How you stand in your ground in a fight that you started? Then he's walking around here on Mother's Day texting Trayvon Martin's mother. You should have raised a better son. No, his mother and his father should have raised a better son. Trayvon Martin didn't kill anyone, he did. See, we gotta know how to talk to these people. See, we don't need these noodleback people getting in there tomorrow. Yeah, we all need to just get along and we're all one people. No, we're not. We're not gonna ever get along like that. Like I have some white friends. I was with them today, had a nice time with them. But I know there's a limit to that because you know why? There's one white friend of mine, he was so tore up on Charlie Kirk. So I knew his real thoughts came out. He can't be no friend of mine no more. I had two other white friend brothers. There was this radio host here in this area named what's his name? Bob Romantic. Talked about black people like dogs, used the N-word. Black people listening to him, laughing at him, kissing up to him. My white friends come to me, tell me what Bob Romantic said. They said that. I said, look, if I want to know what he said, I listen to him myself. I said, why are you listening to it? And then one time he said, they went to, after Ferguson, he was talking about hiring black policemen. He was going to say to me, yeah, but would they be qualified? I said, who the hell you think you're talking to, man? Don't come to me with that. Because let me tell you this. How does a policeman get qualified? He goes to the academy, or he comes and he graduates from the academy. Or he comes from another apartment because he's already graduated from the academy. Ask him, how do you think the black ones hired? Oh, Larry, they get hired the same way. I said, well, why are they not qualified and the white ones are? Trying to say they're not qualified because they're black? No, they're even more qualified because when black people get a position, we can't be mediocre. We got to produce. That's what we have to do. If I get on a plane, I see all black crew, I know I'm in good hands. They had to jump through all kind of hurdles to be there. That's right. Matter of fact, you know what else I told them? Look, how many black policemen shot white folks? Somebody thought he had a gun. I didn't shoot anybody. Somebody I thought he had a gun. It's usually white policemen doing it. How many black policemen beating people in handcuffs? And you got it all on video. Dragging people out of cars because they asked why you stopped me, which is something they normally do with me anyway. They did that because they wanted to start something with those guys. But look, how many black policemen you see doing that misbehavior? And I told them, evidently, the white policemen are not qualified. They're the ones doing that. So you got to know how to talk to these people. Can't let them sit up and just talk against our people. You told me, no, we're all one race. We're all one people. No, we're not. When you got two different people, you're never going to be equal. We got to go get what we can and stop all that trying to live with them and all that. Be equal. You like the Asians and all them do. Line your pockets. Get all their money. Man, this pillow is itching my leg. I got on a short. It's itching my leg. I mean, take it out of this chair. It's gonna make me lower, but man, it's itching my leg bad. That's what I'm doing all this squirming. I never wore it with shorts on. Let me use this one because I got a low body. I tell you why. I don't weigh much. And I used to notice that I would be around people who I'm much taller than. But yet, when we sat down, they were much taller than me. And I realized, it took a long time, I realized what it was. They had a lot of butt and I didn't have none. That's why they were taller than me when we sit down, but I can be 2, 3 inches taller than them when we stand up. They're 2, 3 inches taller than me when we sit down. So that's why I'm on the pillow. I don't want to be sitting too low in here. I got the chair up high as it goes. But look, yeah, we got to know how to talk to people. We need to try to talk against our people, like this Charlie Kirk stuff. I got one white guy was on my Facebook page. He's a Facebook friend. Anybody he put on his post, anyone speak against Charlie Kirk and just unfriend me. I texted him and told him I really don't even know who he is, so I don't know what to say. But if I did, I'd say whatever I want to. I don't tell somebody what to say on their own page. He didn't say on his page. If you type anything against Charlie Kirk, I tell you what. If they tell about why would they speak against that man? His family was there, and they should be praying for his family. I'm not praying for his family. I'm not praying for him or his family. When my enemy fall, I rejoice. I don't be sad. He was our enemy. Well, why should we supposed to rejoice? They even rejoiced in the Bible when their enemies fail. But look, they are I tell them, look, when we when there was a tornado in North St. Louis about 2, 3 months ago, they clowned black people all day long on social media. They clown black people so laughing at them. Oh, the house probably looked better before the tornado hit. No, the house probably looked better after the tornado hit it than it did before. Every comment on there, they were clowning black people. And they say, oh, that's some good white people. Yeah, they are. But why come they don't never comment and straighten their comrades out? They'll come on over to black people and start hitting the white people back. Oh, we all need to get along. We're one race to human race. I said, why don't you tell your people that? That you go on their posts, go on their pages, tell them that. Why you always trying to tell black people that? See, people always want to hurt us. Then when it's time for us to respond, you got to be peaceful. See, that's why I never protested. Because of my job, I live stream them. I never protest. I told you before. I don't believe in peaceful protests. So I'm not going to go out there and mess up those people's protests. You can't hurt me. And then when it's time for me to retaliate, tell me I got to be peaceful. That's crazy. No, if I got a black eye, you got to have two. Because you respond with a greater force than what they did. Now, stop playing with these folks. We're not going to get along. It's going to be some of them we're going to get along because they talking about civil war. It's going to be some of them on our side because they took over Black Lives Matter for us. It wasn't that many people marching in Black Lives Matter. There was marches I filmed where I couldn't even, 600 people and I couldn't even find a black person. Even under situation then, I couldn't find a black person. We stopped marching after Ferguson, but they haven't figured that out yet. Those people marched for 3 months, 3 or 4 months, from August to November, yet it still came out the same. So we think we have to think up a new strategy. These old civil rights tactics are not working anymore. Black people haven't been marching just like we are now. And you people in Chicago, you gangbangers, talking about, yeah, we want the National Guard and the Marines to come here. Man, y'all better go somewhere and sit down. Y'all the problem. Y'all the problem. And when something happen to you, don't come crying. You're not gonna take them on. How you gonna take them on? You holding your pistol to the side. That's stupid. You can't hit nothing like that. You gotta empty your clip to hit somebody 10 feet away. Those people are trained marksmen. You standing there with your pistol all held to the side with 3 bullets in it. But look, when they so when those, even in Chicago, you people stay home. Stop hanging out in the street. Stay home. Just go do what you gotta do. Work, grocery shopping. And don't need to hanging out. Grown men don't need to be hanging out anyway. Go home with your family. Even if you don't have a family, go home watch TV or something. They're supposed to be there 30 days. You can't stop hanging out like a little kid for 30 days. I hung out when I was a teenager. What I look like? Hanging out now. Hey, baby, I'm ready. I'm getting ready to go hang out with the boys. I look stupid saying something like that. Now, if I was 18, I'd do it. 17, 16, I'd do it. When you grow up, you got to do grown folks things. But look, back to what I was saying. See, they're all over TV. Talking about the HBCUs when they were on lockdown. What they doing on lockdown? No one want, they're all in MAGA territory. No one's want to hurt them. They're going to make sure you don't. But what they got to do is lock down and have the AR-15s in there too. See, we got to quit thinking these people, they ain't going to do nothing. We live in a different world now. They got us in their minds all the time. We're living in a completely different world. We don't have a constitution anymore. The Supreme Court is Trump's lackey. The Congress is his lackey. What difference does it make? Oh, the judge ruled against Trump. What difference does it make? He's not going to obey the order anyway. The president of Brazil tried to have an insurrection like Trump did. He's been sentenced to prison. And this fool's still out here. Why? Race. White people are crazy about race. They're trying to stop the browning of the United States. See, they're having a reconstruction right now because a black man became president. That wasn't supposed to happen. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, you may get upset with me. I'm going to tell you right now, nowhere in the near future we're going to have a female president. It's not going to happen, even if they cheat. Because I think they cheated with Kamala. And some people are showing it scientifically. So they believe some cheating was going on. How Trump going to win in a district with AOC, no, he gonna win the district and AOC win also. That don't even make sense. Or there were places where he got all 100% of the votes and Kamala got zero. I've never seen a candidate get zero votes before. Yeah, my name could have been on the ballot. I would have got something. Maybe 5, 10, 1 something. Not zero. But there's not going to be a female president anytime too soon. Hillary, a white woman, she got almost 3 million more votes than Trump. Yet she still lost. And if election was going to be contested, that should have been the one contested. And white women, you doomed yourself. Because see, white women go side with their men no matter what. Because their men are very abusive. See, black women think these white men nice and gonna treat you nice. You know what white women say? The reason we like black men because they treat you nice. They know how to talk to women because most of them was raised by women. Black women don't see that though. They see all these black men is no good. While the other women see good and scooping them up too. I had a young white woman coming after my old self. I'm gonna tell you what happened. But look, we got to quit trying to think we're gonna be equal to them. We're not. The only place where that happens is in black areas, especially like in Africa. Only Africans allow people to come in the minority rule, ruling you in your own land. They're waking up now, but we do it here. We run our cities politically, but others run it economically. Black people have a $2.3 trillion spending power. That's not all we got. That's more than a lot of nations. But that's not all we got. That's just spending. That's not talking about savings and stuff like that. But what we do so and they're talking about it's going up 3 trillion. Go, we're not hurting like other people. White women are hurting. You're hurting his own woman. So what do you think he care about you? And see, we can't be lazy with that kind of spending power. You gotta be making some money. You have that kind of money just to spend now. That's what you spend. That's not all you got. But you know what our problem is? Why our cities are poor, like in Africa. We take our money, we go spend it with other people. We make them rich. Those people on 38th Street at the Rice House, they become millionaires out of black folks. After COVID, I'm gonna tell you what black people do. Anybody you think white people don't like, you flock to them. After 9/11, that's when them Arab or Arab, as y'all say, that's when those Arab stores became popular. You know when the Asian shop that went on 38th Street, they used to barely get customers. After COVID, they just about had a traffic block. Can't get through the street sometimes down State Street. Another one on what's that? Where is that at? Is that 32nd? Miss get the name, but they closed down one house, Rice House on State Street. Said it was too filthy. The other day, I think yesterday. What is that? I think it's the one on the one on Lambs over on 31st State, or that one on 21st State. They closed it down. Said it was too nasty. Y'all went up in there buying this stuff. I can't remember last time I bought some of that stuff. Oh, I do when I went to Ginger's back about a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago, I ate some then, and I'm very selective about what I eat because I don't eat meat or any type of flesh. So I'm very picky about what I eat. That's why I don't go out and eat at restaurants much because I'm usually wasting my money because I don't eat much. A lot of that stuff high in cholesterol, high in sodium. Then you wonder why you're sick. In fact, all that processed food, all that stuff is processed that they have in those restaurants. that processed food blowing y'all up. But I know you're not gonna listen. I was at last time I was at the doctor, and they took my weight. Two nurses in there, two black women, and when they saw my weight, they started laughing because I don't weigh a lot, but I'm healthy. That's what's important. I can get on here right now and do 100 push-ups easily. Matter of fact, I have it posted on my Facebook page of me doing it. But look, they were laughing at my weight because I didn't weigh a lot, but both of them was obese. I should have been the one laughing. Obesity has been made normal. And boy, they be ready to cuss you out if you say something about their weight. Because they're around other people who are just like them and they all make it okay. I don't mean to get off subject, but I saw a woman, I was in a restaurant one time buying some stuff for a person who was in a nursing home. And there was some women talking, but I didn't never look down at. She in this room was saying, girl, I gotta lose some weight. I gotta lose this belly. I done got so big. Girl, you ain't gotta lose no weight. You look good just like you are. I finally looked down there. That woman belly was sitting in her lap and she was standing up. But they're telling her she looked good. You don't need to cut that out. Then go to church. Oh, I finally went testifying. And my blood pressure was normal. Your blood pressure is supposed to be normal. Lose some weight. Yeah, maybe you don't have to be running to the doctor expecting a blessing from something that's supposed to be normal. But look, getting back to the topic. This guy that killed, they still then you know what they're doing now? All those white people that put up stuff out on social media, they're deleting it. And then they found out it was one of their boys. And you know what? They were supposed to be against all that homosexual stuff. He was living with a transsexual. Get that? He was living with a transsexual and doing all that talk about those people. I'm not for discriminating against anybody's rights. The only thing I say is I don't like them comparing them to our race. What they're doing has nothing to do with being black. It's not on the same level. So stop comparing them to us. But they're not. I'm just saying it, but I know they're not. But look, I fired back a couple times. Sometimes it gets so ridiculous, like on Facebook, telling about how we live in their heads. So you don't see us all over your posts, trolling your posts, because we don't care about you. Haven't you noticed? We've left y'all alone. We don't deal with you. I was with a couple of my white friends today. Had a nice time. But I know how far to go with them. That one who praising Charlie Kirk can't be no friend of mine. That can't be no friend of mine. Do you know that the slaves brought most of the innovation to this country? They were living in log cabins, taught them how to smelt iron and taught them metallurgy. This is the you're taking metals from raw earth. See, those slaves that came over here, they weren't people they found in the bush with bones in their nose, butt naked. Those people were scientists, doctors. New agriculture. Matter of fact, some of the white people admit it. The slaves taught them how to do agriculture better, especially when it came to rice. They didn't know how. The white people didn't know how to grow rice. You see, a lot of the slaves did it to make their job easier. They thought if they helped the white man, he let them go, but they didn't know who they was dealing with, how diabolical these people are. But see what happened with so many of the slaves about innovation, because the white man was too lazy. He's too lazy to go out there and pick people, just like he's too lazy to do it now. They tell me everybody go out there and pick some of the white folks. Black people did it, now women did it. They're right alongside of us. Our women can do more than you. But look, they they built the White House because they had the innovation. The only time the white man started doing some real work is when they built machineries which the slaves showed them how to build, to do some work. When it came to building the railroad, they had the Chinese to do that. When did they ever do any real work? Now that the immigrant, when black people start working the farms, they got the immigrants. Now that the immigrants are being ran away and thrown in prison, come on, where are the blacks at? Where your people at? Let them get their claim. They hard work and pull themselves up by their own bootstrap, which they didn't because they had land taken from black people and given to them and given loans and grants that the black farmers couldn't get. That's why the black farmers not hurting. They have to pay cash for this stuff. They grew crops that they can just take to market and see where they're at. They can be harvested with machines. Their farms were more mechanized than the white people farms. That's why they didn't need immigrants. See, they try to talk like black folks dumb. Those black farmers knew what they were doing. They may be able to buy up some of those white farms if J.D. Vance don't get all of them, because he's in that business of buying farmland. But look, yeah, we live in their heads. They're thinking about us all the time. Soon as that man got shot in Utah, he said something about black people. You can go all over Utah. You're not gonna find no black person. Just stick out like a sore thumb. Black people don't want to ever know forsaken place like that. They're just talking about in Missouri, we're gonna have all white towns. Be our guests, we're glad. Because every time we try to have our own black towns, you burnt them down. There was some family, 90 black families bought land to start their own city. The government did everything they could to try to destroy it. Sometimes we got to help each other out. More people should live there. I didn't know about it, but now we got to stop this stuff and help each other out. Because you know why? Black Americans don't do business with each other very well. I have people come work with me. You know what they do? Try to find out what they do so they can eliminate me and do it themselves. But the white guys would come in here and work with me. And we all do okay. They still over in Kenya. See, the Somalians just about run Kenya. And everyone over there, the Asians, everyone, they group together, Nigerians, and they build businesses together. They say everyone can do it, except the black Americans over there, because all of them trying to do it by themselves. I've tried to go in business with someone before. It didn't work out. No one want to listen to the other, want to agree with you on nothing. Well, I would listen, but he wouldn't agree with me on nothing. So we don't do business. We can't hardly run a business very well with each other. Yeah, and see, back to my subject. As soon as this demon got shot, they started talking about black people. In Utah, and this black woman got on there, oh, I have condolences for his family. This is no way to do this. I don't have condolences for his family. I don't have no condolences for him. Because you know why? He said some lives is going to have to be lost to keep the Second Amendment. But he wasn't counting on it being him. He wasn't murdered. He was a sacrifice for the Second Amendment. That's what he was, a sacrifice. Now, he wasn't counting on it being him. I don't feel sorry for him, his wife, his children, his dog, his cat. I don't feel sorry for none of them. You know why? You know the man that was with Michael Brown when he was killed? He was when this man was killed maybe a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks ago. The white folks clowned. Every comment they were clowning him. Michael Brown, they clowned him. He had a family. You ain't seen them putting up no praying hands. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. Castillo, I can't remember his name. I think it's Steven Castillo. Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin. What was the guy got killed who was selling the cigarettes? I forget his name. All those people got families. But you clown their name all over social media and on the news. So we feel about George Kirk, Captain Kirk. See, I'm out of here. Same way we feel about him. But see, he gonna be MAGA meat in about a couple of weeks to maybe a month on go for me. Until then, whenever they get in there, I don't feel sorry for them. Black folks gotta stop this sort of stuff. I'm happy when my enemies fall. When my enemies are my people. If you're an enemy of black people, I want to see you fall. By any means necessary. I want to see you fail. What I want to pray for you for. I'm not. Others can. I can't tell other people what to do. They're grown men and women. You can hardly tell children what to do nowadays. But look, I can't tell other people what to do. If they want to put up the praying hands, talking about sending condolences, I'm not sending nothing. But ha ha ha. I know y'all don't like it, but that's just the way it is. I don't play like that. Charlie Kirk don't mean nothing to me. Donald Trump, none of them. You in MAGA, you a damn fool. I'm just gonna tell you. Especially black people, man. They're against black people. Do you black MAGA people think that they're gonna look over you? Then you go on them black MAGA page, they say a lot of them tell the black MAGAs they don't like them. Why are you here? Excuse me. Why are you here? They used you. They got what they wanted. Now, if they start doing things to black people, when they talk about civil war, you think they're gonna look over the black MAGAs and say, "Oh, he's MAGA." They're gonna try to shoot you too. She's MAGA. Let her go. They probably shoot you first for believing that crap. And boy, they have to be really stupid. Think we actually like them? They said those MAGA rallies, they wouldn't even speak to the black MAGA people. The white ones. Because when they come do something to black people, and these bills they made, they're gonna affect the MAGA children, the black MAGA children too. That big ugly bill that they signed, it's gonna have the you paying trillions of dollars for the billionaires. The black MAGAs and your children for generations is gonna have to pay that. How do you feel? Still feel MAGA? You got to pay that, just like the non-MAGA black folks do. You got to feel like a fool. If I did that, I know I would. Man, why do something like that? But I wouldn't do that. Just like those Latinos. See how they feel like a fool? Oh, what that song them Cubans made? I believe love for Donald Trump. Couldn't even say the word right. Couldn't even say both right. And the woman who wrote the song, you know those people that was dancing on that video, they all out of here. I don't know if the woman gone by her husband, the sons, those men are gone, because she was on YouTube crying. I heard she got deported, but I don't know for sure. I heard she got deported. I just don't know why they still thinking about us. We're not bothering anyone. We're going on about our business. We're not protesting. And you people in Chicago, go home. See what happened with the strategy is this. Now they're talking about going into Memphis. Memphis is in a red state, but it has a black mayor. St. Louis would probably be safe because it's in a red state, but it now has a white mayor. Yeah, but see what black people wasn't going out there participating in none of this stuff. They wanted us out there bad. Like it was 8 black women in Philadelphia. They were the only ones in that protest. Who do you think the police came and arrested? Only them. People told them to stay out of that. They went anyway. When I recorded that No Kings rally in St. Louis, I record that stuff. I don't participate. Okay, there's about 10,000 people. There was about 20 blacks there. That wouldn't have been no numbers. But you know what they did? They had a black woman walking up front with the banner. Yep, carrying the banner. Every time someone was on the bullhorn, it was a black person. Now, if they come after them, who do you think they're coming after first? The people with the banners and the bullhorns. Quit letting yourself be used like that. People don't like you. It's that they're in distress right now, and they want your help. Where the blacks at? We didn't ask where you was at, and we was fighting for our civil rights. We went around here fighting for, you all helped us when it came to stuff like police brutality. When we was fighting for our very right to exist in this country, for civil rights, to vote, where were you at then? See, anybody can march for police brutality because that can happen to you. We had a few people to help, but nothing to count. You're always going to have some exceptions. And you're always going to have some exceptions. White people contributed more with Black Lives Matter. You know, when they took it over, it got more violent. They're the ones who went into that police station in Minnesota, burnt it down, and ran the cops out. Black people couldn't have done that. There would have been black bodies all over those steps. Who were the people that got killed? Kyle Rittenhouse killed 2 white men. You know, if they're trying to start a race war, they're doing sure is doing it in a poor way, killing all their own people. But you know but see when black people when we get hurt, they dog us so. When we're hurting, we get no sympathy. And then the same silly folks when it come to us, we all one race. Cause you talk against it, talk against whoever I want to. That's it. If you're the enemy of my people, I have no sympathy for you. You gonna sit here and mess with my folks and call them all kind of names, making them seem like they're nothing. Yet I'm supposed to love you, praying hands and all that. Now, I'm not doing that. But you're supposed to pray for Trump. Now, they wouldn't like what I pray. I'm praying for him. And you know what? They wouldn't like what I say if I prayed for him. He wouldn't like it. It's not going to be pretty. Remember when David prayed, he prayed for the destruction. Solomon, they prayed for the destruction of their enemies. They didn't talk about, I'm going to pray for them and I'm going to. See, they told black people this to make us docile. And we'll just take anything they bring. See how we go, you go, when they go low, we go high. That don't work. It never did. When they go low, I go lower. Cut them off at the knee. Chop your legs off. Throw it in the meat grinder. That's the kind of thinking you have to have. I ain't saying that I'm going to do that. I'm speaking more in metaphor, But just to show you, be around here. See, when people tell you, be the big go, they go low, we go high. When people be around telling you, be the bigger person, I'm not the bigger person. I can get petty like that. You know why? Being the bigger person means that people just do whatever they want to you. You take it with a smile and keep treating them nice. I'm gonna be the little person. I may be wrong. You may talk about me. But I feel good. I cannot have someone mistreating me, and I'm gonna treat them good. We can no longer try to be the bigger person. When they come to us for help, throw them out. Like here in where I'm at in East St. Louis, Illinois. Okay, you got all these old scraggly white homeless people running around here, pooping all on the ground and everything, looking crazy, messing with folks. You know good and well a black person couldn't go up in a white town and do that. Had a FedEx man in his uniform in a truck. The police bothering him. The mailman. They're bothering him up in the white neighborhood. See, we don't have a history of harming white people who come to our area. They have a history of helping us. I remember a white woman told me sometime, older white woman said, my car stopped in East St. Louis. Oh, the people were so kind. They were coming to help me and all. I said, yeah, that's what they always do. We treat white people like that. Matter of fact, we help black people like that when their cars stop. You know what I told her? But if my car is stopped in your neighborhood, I get the police called on me. And the thing is, the police may see me and come anyway. See, they don't have to worry about just some people. We got to worry about the police too. See, we got to worry about people and the police. When we go in their neighborhood, I was driving a scooter one day. I had this woman on the back, and the belt broke. But I always carried another belt that had a trunk on it. In fact, I said, God, I got a trunk on it. So I was putting the other belt on because I keep the tools with me also because sometimes those belts can break. This white man, who was out front of his house, he came talking to me. You know how when you come down, going down that lower hill by Loisel Village, going down that hill, then you come out on State Street. He talked to me and he said, talking just as good. She said, oh, he's really nice. That's what you think. He going in there to call the police. Oh, you always think somebody always doing something. You act like people can't be nice. Just wait and see. About 5 minutes later, here come the police. He sat there and watched me. He saw my plates and everything was current. So he just went on. And he saw what I was doing. He went in there and he called the police. A black person wouldn't have done that. They would have helped them and saw them on their way. We got to stop helping our enemies. Call the police on them too. Come on, nasty people dumping their trash and he's saying, look, on nasty white folks walking around here, drug addicts and alcoholics and meth heads, sitting out on the bus stop there, throwing trash out there every day. In front of my building, trash every day. That waste basket out there. The see, the thing about it, we put up with that stuff. They wouldn't. Our best can go in their neighborhoods, but we put up with their worst. Only we do that. No one else does. When I lived in LA a long time. Matter of fact, I was planning on going back about 5 years ago, but COVID broke out and it was really bad out there. I was planning on going back maybe this year, but with them National Guards and all that out there, I'm not going nowhere. It's pretty rough out there right now. Stay put in good old safe East St. Louis until the time is right. I really love living in Los Angeles. And that's why I know about all these different people of color. how they hate us, they hate us with a passion. See, people think because white folks don't like them, that make them our allies, but they don't like us. I had this woman tell me one time, I think I said this the other night. She told me, say, uh-uh, I'm tired of black men. I don't want no white man. I'm gonna get me a Mexican because white people don't like them. I said, well, but they don't like us. Quit thinking because white people don't like somebody that they're our ally, they're not. And the thing about it, so when you don't like a black man, stop getting with these Pookie and Ray Rays ruining your young life. Then think you're gonna get it together later. All the women messing around with the same few men, how do you expect that to go well? You like these chaotic guys, and you're getting what you get. And so, see, because see, one thing I know, I don't mean to get off subject. One thing I know is about black men, though, they don't give it white women just because they're white. It's the treatment, the way she treats him. I remember when I was a little young kid, and every time you saw a white woman with a black man, because you didn't see it that much that often. You know what my aunt and all the older women would say? Oh, he's just with her for nice treatment. I was a little kid, and then I got lost. I said, why come he can't get with a black woman for nice treatment? Why come a black woman can't treat him nice? I'm not gonna get into that. That's a whole nother topic there. You say, well, he's talking about women. I'm a man. I give the male perspective. If it was a woman sitting here, she would give the female perspective. So but look, yeah, we gotta be very careful because they're mad about this Charlie Kirk. They're talking about him like he now they clown Martin Luther King when he died, mega ever. Every black person when they die. But they want us to celebrate this idiot. He should have ducked. And you know what? I mean the guy was trying to hit him in the head. But he hit him in the neck. He must have been a DEI shooter. Yeah, he must have been a DEI shooter. Is that too far? Am I going too far? You know, kick me out here. Should have ducked. You know what he was. You know what he was. The last words came out of his mouth. Black gangsters. Said something about black gangsters. Those was the last words he said. But see, he's not a. He wasn't murdered. He was a Second Amendment sacrifice. He said, you know, a few lives is gonna have to be lost to keep the Second Amendment. He just wasn't counting on it being here. And he clowned. Then that black woman getting on top, he clowned black women so, and none of it was true. None of it was true. I know some black women who mentally drag him. I mean, they don't have the mental capacity. You have to go ask somebody white. Man, I'd like to see him debate Jasmine Crockett. See, he debated those people, those little weasel backs, with all that we need to get along and stuff. Oh, they can drag them. They gotta get somebody like me who don't care about getting along with you. I come with facts and statistics. Because I've been on panels like that before. But look, what they would do, they show the cutoff of just him talking. Anybody can look like they drugged you and told you off. You just hear what they got to say and not the other person. I've been in those debates, and it'd be so pathetic. The black people be sitting up in there trying to appease those white people. Well, you see, they're trying to talk about we all need to get along, and God said this and that. God wants you to protect yourself and your people, and we won't do that. We won't do that. We need to stop this get along stuff and try to get away from them. Some wrath is coming. You want to talk about God? It's like some wrath coming down on them. People running them out of everywhere. People running him out of everywhere. They're running him out of Africa. France's economy is suffering right now because the African nations has ran them out economically also. And they're building. Do you know the medium age in Africa? You know what it is? The youngest in the world, 18. That's a that's a continent on the rise. You see all those light skinned people up in the upper parts of Africa, except for Nigeria? Those light skinned people weren't supposed to be there. They came in when the Europe's were colonized. But one thing I don't like is the Africans. Well, we need to be part of that reparation. You ain't getting nothing. Some of you sold us. That Biden, when he was running for president, um, if they're going to be in the reparations, the Indians have to be included. A lot of the Indians owned black slaves, many black tribes. Many Indian tribes owned slaves. Matter of fact, they kept them longer than the white people did. Didn't want to let them go. They had to go up there and make them let the black people go. You got your reparation when you took that worthless land. You can't put nothing but a casino and liquor store on. You got yours. We're not giving them none of our money. Their own money. They did to the black farmers. Biden was part of this. And Biden, I think, was a good president. And I would have voted for him again because you're not going to agree with everything a person does. I'm not going to not vote for a candidate because I don't agree. I didn't agree with everything Obama did and said. But I voted for him twice. You don't have to be 100% agreement because you're not going to do that with anybody. You're not even 100% with your mom and daddy. How you going to be that way with other people? But look, Biden said they gave the white farmers the COVID loan, but the black farmers didn't get it. So later, the black farmers sued and won. The white farmers sued because they wanted some of the black farmers' money. You know what Biden did? It's canceled a whole suit. I never heard of that. How I'm gonna win? You gonna win a suit against me, and because somebody else sued and said they want some of it, you don't get nothing. I never heard no foolishness like that before. But look, you know what? So Biden did a lot of good things, but he did some bad things with black people. Kamala Harris said they sort of threw her under the bus. But see, she may see it that way, but see, they were actually counting on Biden to be to run for 2 terms. So everything may not have turned over. That was quick. She did a hell of a job for those few days. But I'm gonna take your black women suggestion. Keep your gender and your race out of these elections. Black woman is black woman. Don't do that. See, Obama didn't talk about black man, this and that. Matter of fact, when the black man talk about black, he talk about black people. Black women just talk about black women. But look, you got to keep that out of that. It hurts. I told them this about Stacey Abrams. They got angry with me about that because, see, people are like this. If they don't like what you say, it's wrong. If they like it, it's right. But we emotional people, black people. Think out of emotion. If I like what you said, then you're right. If I don't like what you said, then you're wrong, no matter what the facts say. Stacey Abrams was running down in Georgia. I told them, she's not going to win. Who's on the panel? Say, why are you hating on her? I said, do you want to hear the facts or you want to stand and make that emotional rant? Stop over talking to me. I don't let people over talk me when I'm debating because I sit and listen to people. And they're going to listen to me. Okay. I tell you why she's not going to win. The women is turning this into a sister girl movement. She's not running for president of the Delta. Quit talking about her race and her gender so much. Focus on the facts and put a ground team together. You can't get out the vote on the internet. Obama put a ground team together. They said he sent people to places that they didn't even know exist. Because men are builders. We know how to build. See, men built this democratic machine. Jesse Jackson, Andrew Young, Julian Bond, Roy Ennis. But then they came with this feminist stuff and the women took over. And we haven't won anything since. Been doing a lot of fighting, but not winning nothing. Takes men to build. I know you women mad, but that's just the way it is. You see the white women bad as Trump is. They do not go against their men. They know it takes their men to build. Even no matter how lousy he is. So what happened with Stacey Abrams? She lost. She was running for governor. So I told y'all need. See, the thing about it is this. First of all, don't get mad now. White people are not going to vote for a black, obese woman, especially white men. They're not going to vote for her. And I told them that, oh, they was really mad then. But that's just a fact. Black men will vote for her. If I lived in Georgia, I would vote for her. I think Stacey Abrams would have made an excellent governor. Black people always do. When we come in those positions, we do an awesome job. The majority, I say 99.9% of us, do an awesome job. Do you know Atlanta? Well, let me get back to Stacey Abrams. She came and she ran the second time they did the same thing to you. You're going to get the same results. Them white folks don't want to hear that sister girl stuff. Yeah, she's a black woman. They don't want to hear that. I'm not saying that I'm hating on her because I would vote for her in a heartbeat. She ran for president, I'd vote for her. But I was telling them the facts. After she ran the first time, they should have told her, Stacey, if you're going to run again, we're going to have to put you in the gym and get you together. Because these other people are not going to settle for that. Optics plays a major role. Black men used to seeing overweight black women. These other people don't go for that. And it takes more than black people to vote for you. It takes more than black people to vote for you. Like I was saying, black people do an awesome job when we come in those top positions, and they know it. That's what they hate about it. Do you know what happened in Atlanta? You know one thing about Atlanta? Atlanta used to be a little dusty city in the South. People didn't pay it any attention. Maynard Jackson became the mayor, I think, the 70s, I think. He said he's going to build an international airport. It was like $700 billion. I mean, $700 million. They say he's crazy spending that kind of money on the airport. And, 700, I think it was like $750 million back in the 70s. That's probably 2-3 million now. I mean, 200 million. No, 300. No, 2 or 3 billion. Oh, let me get my math correct. Yeah, probably 2-3 billion or more. But you know what happened? He built it. And that's how Atlanta became an international city. Atlanta, the airport that he built in Atlanta, right now, is the busiest airport in the world. Not in the nation, not in the nation. It is the busiest airport in the world. We do an awesome job, black folks, when we come into these positions. Look at Jasmine Crockett. They wouldn't even see the Democrats wouldn't even vote her into that leadership position. There was I don't know. She was running for not the Speaker of the House, but she was running for to head a committee. They need to let some of them young people come in there. Your old way of thinking is not working. The Republicans are cleaning your clock. You playing checkers and they playing digital chess. We gonna wait to see what Texas do. If they gerrymander, we gonna don't wait on them. You knew they was doing that all the time. That's why Latoya Greenwood around here can't win anymore. They gerrymandered that district, and she's not gonna win it. No matter how many times she runs, she's not gonna win it. It's been gerrymandered. I think she made an excellent state rep. Chris Belt, excellent state senator. When black people in these positions, we do it with excellence. But you know what they'll do? They'll find this one black person who may mess up. Oh, she must have been a DEI. And you know what? Every time they holler DEI, come to find out it was white males. Do you know when they found out this white man killed this Charlie Kirk? I wouldn't say so. I told some people, I said, I bet it be a white man, a white MAGA man. The one who supposedly, I did say supposedly, shot at Trump. He was a white MAGA man. But yet, they make it seem like it's others. I knew it was going to be a white MAGA man. And you know how he do all this over the homosexuals and all? They say he was living with a trans person. Ain't that messed up? I want to say another word with an F, but I can't, I don't want to do that. Ain't that messed up? The man talking against those folks, living with one. But I don't talk about them much because I'm dealing with race. I deal with race. I don't deal with about sexual preference. That's their business or their problem, whatever way it is. But I don't want to see them discriminated. No. Yeah, let them have life, liberty to pursue their happiness, just like everyone else. Because you know what happened? I usually don't talk on this subject. But there was these white women, them Southern Christians, it's the black church who were really against homosexuals. She must not know. Black church, the black church is a haven for homosexuals. And the people know it. Matter of fact, when I was a kid coming up, that's the only way, that's how you learn about who a homosexual was. You saw them in church. They were all over the church. I don't think it was good, but they was all over the church. When no one discriminating against them, they tell you quick. And you know those minister musics and all, you know. But black people didn't discriminate against them. That was you people doing that. They put you can tell evil people. They put what they do on you. Whatever they do, they're like it's you. When they know it's them. But they just don't want to own their evil. Yeah, they don't want to own their evil. So, and if we were so evil, we were so inferior. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You know what they treat us like? They don't treat us like they think we're inferior. Because look, why does people expect black people to do everything perfect? That's how these black conservatives and all talk against black people. They find some inadequacy among us, like we're not supposed to have it. Everyone else can, but we can't. We got to cross every T and dot every I. We have to be perfect people. Now, if you thought we was inferior, why you expect us to be perfect? But I think you don't want to see that sleeping giant wake up. I'm telling you, this nation is in decline. It's not going to be the superpower it used to be. And the Caucasian race is in decline all over the world. They're running them out of Africa. Africa is now enjoying their own wealth, pulling themselves up, and their economies are suffering because see Europe was built off the wealth of Africa. They wouldn't be nothing without black people. You know, it's all around the world. They were built off of like we brought all these inventions here. I said we, I'm talking about black people. The slaves brought all these inventions here, built stuff. What would they be without us? What would Europe be without Africa? and run those folks out of South Africa. See, when they ran the colonial power out, you're supposed to run the people out too. They're not citizens. There's no such thing as an Africaneer. They're invaders. Run them out. They still control 96, 63 million people in South Africa. They're, I think, one-eighth of the population. They own, they control 96% of wealth and 75% of the farmland. Talking about they're being discriminated against. I wish I could be discriminated against like that. You should have ran them people out. That what Nelson Mandela did, but I wouldn't expect him. He's a little softy anyway. Should have ran those people out. Took all their wealth. Take them to the airport or train station. Strip them butt naked. Don't let them leave there with nothing. And that idiot Nelson Mandela. Yeah, I did say idiot. I told you all this before. How in the world? Look, they was getting ready to put him in prison. They said, we will let you go if you denounce violence as a way to stop apartheid. He wouldn't do it. Spent 27 years in prison. After 27 years, what does he do? Denounce violence as a way to stop apartheid. Couldn't you do that in the first place? Spent 27 years in prison for nothing. Could have just told him you're not going to do it and go do it clandestine. Clandestine. If they catch you again, just try to make sure they don't. Then you know what he had the nerve to do? He spent 27 years in prison and he divorced Winnie. Somebody, she cheated on me. Man, you spent 27 years in prison. What do you think gonna happen? Somebody gonna scratch that itch. If she spent 27 years in prison, you probably have babies all over the place. So if he's that silly to spend 27 years in prison, she's supposed to go deal with somebody else. I'm surprised she didn't divorce him, but they did eventually get a divorce. But does that make sense? Jenna, you out there? I'm gonna spend 27 years in prison. Then when I get out, tomorrow, my wife cheated on me. I should have known she was doing that. At least she didn't divorce you. If my wife spent 27 years in prison, I'm gonna be banging somebody else, even if I don't divorce her. Anyone would. But see, that just show how the stupidity of some of those African leaders. The reason those people stay there so long is they get an African leader, make him a million, sometimes a billionaire, and he let them have anything they want out of his country, but all the rest of the people are poor. But Kenny Fasse, with Abraham Traore, they're now making their own electric cars, their own factories, highways, bridges. Yeah, that's what they're doing. And it didn't take them long because they got the money. They just had to quit letting France get it. They made France turn over there at the airport. They tried to kill them about 20 times. The United States and France in the Congo. When the president there tried to nationalize the oil, they killed him. The United States did. This was a long time ago. The United States killed him and put them a little lackey in office so they could keep getting that oil. Same thing in Iran. The president of Iran, he said, "No, you are taking this oil. I'm gonna nationalize this oil." The United States threw him in prison. Well, he stayed there till he died. They installed the Shah, and the Shah ruled for 27 years, and they say he was brutal. That's why you see. And remember that Iranian hostage crisis? They overthrew the Shah and took those hostages. But if they had any sense, you would tell them, "We don't take prisoners." I wouldn't. But but see, the thing is, They make you to think that Iran was the bad people. No, they are. This is in Israel. Since we in Israel became a all-white nation, those imposters over there. As the scriptures said that there will be those inhabiting the land who say they are Jews, but they're not. They're imposters. They're the synagogue of Satan. Are those people doing stuff over there that look like they God's chosen people? If they are, it's the wrong God. And see, the thing is, they discriminate against the Ethiopian Falasha Jews, treat them really bad. In Israel, the Christians are brutalized. But yet, if you say something about them, oh, you're anti-Semitic. I talk about them if I want to. They don't like black people. They talk about us. I talk about them. You can call me whatever you want to. If I can be anti-Semitic if I want to. Not saying I am, but I can if I want to. You notice black people the only one they call out for that. Mel Gibson cursed the Jewish policeman out. Oh, you're effing Jew. Jews responsible for all the wars in the world. They had them on the body cam. Then he used to walk around Hollywood asking people, are you an urban dodger? Like they dodged the urbans from being gassed by Hitler. He said he made the movie Passion of the Christ to show where Jews killed Jesus. Then Reverend Jim Jeffries. You know what they said when he said that to the policeman? The ADL? Oh, we know Mel didn't mean it. They still angry at Farrakhan. He didn't say nothing wrong. I agree with every word Farrakhan said. No, Minister Farrakhan. They give his title. But the Reverend Jim Jeffries, he always preached about all Jews going to hell. He gave the opening prayer at the embassy in Jerusalem when they opened it up there a few years ago. A rabbi priest who said all Africans are animals, he gave the closing prayer. So it appears that black people are the only people. You want to throw this anti-Semitic stuff on me, you can throw it on me all you want. Because I don't have to like you or your religion if I don't want to. You don't like the Christian religion. You don't like the Arab religion. You don't even like the Ethiopian Falasha Jews religion. How can you get to like and dislike what you want to, but can't nobody say nothing about you? The hell with Israel. Now we're thinking about Israel. We got stuff over here going on. And not just Israel. The hell with Ukraine. That's always have been one of the worst nations for black people to visit. Remember when Russia started bombing them? They let all the white Ukrainians out and wouldn't let the black people leave until all the white people were out. Then it's black. I don't know which HBCU it was about. They're gonna give 50 scholarships to Ukrainian students. They don't want to come to your college. Why would you do that? Give it to some black folks. The hell with them. Same way with Greece. It's one of the worst countries. Italy, the hell with them too. The hell with any nation that don't like black people. That includes the United States. And you Caribbean nations, you don't like us. The hell with you too. You Mexicans, all of them. The hell with all of them. You don't like black folks, I don't like you. I'm sticking up for my people. I don't care about any of the rest of you. Hey, I'm gonna put my cash up. Hit my cash up if you can. It would be nice. I like to. I plan to have a street preacher on with me next time. He said he was coming, but so many people tell me I can even Zoom with me. They tell me, but they don't come. People don't really like getting on panels and stuff with me. I come with facts. I don't come with no feelings. Rational facts. And if it's wrong, the facts are wrong, not to me. And I usually check them out first. I've been looking into these things quite a while. And I know what I'm talking about. It may not sound good to you, so you don't like it, but it's the truth. You have to quit. Boy, that just flew at me. I got all the other lights, like I said before. I turn all the other lights off. I only got the studio lights on. I don't see them all day long until I turn my lights on. Somebody around here got to have some food somewhere. Leaving some food. I tell them to take all their food out. You have to start listening. Because that's the mostly up here. My area, I have a big office here. My office is, oh man, my office is humongous. I'm, I'm sitting at my other desk now. My main desk over there where I come from sometimes. My green screen and other big table over there. I'm supposed to have a round table of 6 people, and I have the area for it. But I can even zoom people in, and we can have a conversation. But a lot of people just don't want to come on. They say they're coming, but they don't come. I don't disrespect my guests. Matter of fact, when my guests come, I let them do the most talking. If you usually want to hear me talk, I can come on by myself, like I am now. But I let my guests do the most talking. I say something if they're changing the narrative or getting off subject or just sound utterly ridiculous. But I let them have their opinion as long as it's rooted in facts and not no silly stuff. I'm looking at my picture on YouTube. I see all this gray coming in back in. I'm not dying no more. About another month or two, y'all gonna see all white hair here. I'm not dying no more. It stands out too much. I'm just gonna be what I am. I'm just gonna be what I am. Oh man. Yep. There's nothing wrong with being old as long as you're in good shape. That's what counts. I know a lot of young people not in good shape. I had this young girl tell me, "You old B." I told her, "You young B." I hate to sting her though. I don't mean no ill will towards her, but I hate to sting her and say, "You's mad. You gonna get old and die young. You's mad because I didn't die young like you going to." You gotta sting them. She shut up then. And you know why she got angry? She was standing way back off the line. I was trying to be courteous and ask her, "Are you in line?" She jerked her head away. So when I went up to pay for myself, she gonna push me out the way. So I pushed her away. She like gonna walk up on me. I said, "No, don't get your teeth knocked out. I don't play. Ain't nobody gonna hit me, man or woman. Y'all get mad all y'all want to. If a woman hit me in the eye, he's black, I'm not gonna be satisfied tomorrow. Oh, well, no woman did that. I'm not gonna let nobody hit me first, man or woman. You come with hostility, it's time to roll. And I don't roll with hands no more. I don't do no more hand fight. I wouldn't knock her teeth out though, but I don't do no more hand fight. But had to stop that a long time ago. But look, we got to get together with each other and plan some strategies. I wouldn't start the Black Businessmen Council, have them all come here and we do a show together. They're the black businessmen in East St. Louis. Can't get them to come. Arabs running everything, and now the Indians are coming in. Can't stand them. I just know somebody in California, they can't stand black folks. Look at the way they look at you when you come in the store and talking in some other language. When they do that, I don't go in there anymore. I go to these Africans across the street over here. I had one talking in the foreign language. I told him, same to you. I didn't know what he said. Boy, I saw how strange he looked. I told him, same to you. You gotta stop playing with these people. I'm gonna tell you something I told. You know all these fight videos you see on Facebook? I've never seen one in person. These women out there fighting, and if it's going on so much, And I live around black people. Why come I don't see it? I saw one for the first time Monday, but I'm gonna tell you about that down on 25th Street. But why come these white people claim they see so much black people fighting, and I don't see it? They gauge you by YouTube. I mean by social media, what they see on social media. Most of them don't even be around black people. So black people and white people really don't live around each other. Black people live in large urban areas. They live out there in the boondocks. Things about want to live out there. Gotta be crazy. But look, the what was I talking about? I lost my train of thought. I'm already headed into my next talk before I finish with what I'm with. But I start on the urban areas. You know why it seems like black people have a larger crime statistic? First of all, the FBI don't gauge crime by uh, convictions. You know what they put how they put together crime stats by arrest, but they make it look like as though black people commit more crimes. What happens is a lot of those people go, they take them to the police station and let them go. See, they say they don't have quotas, but they do. And they use black people to build up their quotas. You know, black people are, a lot of times people can say, so a white man doing something, say, man, if he was black, they'd be taking him to jail. They use black people to pad the arrest record, but it goes down as a crime. And also, as I said, black people live mostly congested in 26 urban areas of this country, except maybe in a couple uh, um, southern states. But black people don't live in all those states. I told you before, you drive to Chicago from here. Tell me how many black people you see. How many black towns? White people already live in white towns. You don't have to create any more. And we don't come to those. Why we come to some one you built talking about living in cabins and herding goats and sheep? Why go backwards? You trying to become a Mormon or something? But look, that by black people being so congested and white people more spread out. Black people, when we commit crime, it's in the news market. Theirs is not. So when, let's say it's still in Illinois, all in those outlying areas, because see, we got more people than they do in all their outlying areas. In the metropolitan areas. The 20 white murders, 20 white on white murders are committed across the state of Illinois. But they're so spread out, you may not even hear about them. 5 black murders committed in the city of Chicago. What happens? You hear about it because it's congested. We're congested, and you have and you're in the news market. And that man they killed in Chicago tonight, the Hispanic guy, that was a dirty, low-down killing. And they know they didn't have to shoot that man. So he dragged them. You need to drag you coming at him with a mask. Won't tell him who you are. I'll drag you too and be ready to get mine out too. I know if I do, you'll bring yours out. But what was he supposed to do? Max men trying to throw him in a car and won't tell them who they are. Now I know that the history of mass white men coming into black neighborhoods. We don't need them in the Hispanic neighborhoods either. We don't need them nowhere. See, many of the Hispanics in Chicago are Puerto Ricans. They're citizens. Puerto Ricans are U.S. Commonwealth. They're talking about just stopping people if you speak Spanish or you look Spanish. And most in Chicago is full of Puerto Ricans. They're citizens. Because many times they were talking about making Puerto Rico the 51st state. Puerto Rico has a governor. Did you know that? They have a governor. And that's who's mostly in Chicago. Puerto Ricans. That's going to be a problem up there. It really is. Now they're talking about going to Memphis. See, Memphis is in a red state, but it has a black mayor. And you see they're not talking about coming to St. Louis. It's in a red state, and now they just elected a white female mayor. And St. Louis is leading the nation in crime. Something's got to be done. They're hurting too many people. Talking about they're committing crimes. Why you always got to pick them up at work? They're not picking on the farm working. That sound like criminals to you? They're gonna be sorry. But when that fruit don't get picked, and because we're not going out there doing it, let them go out there and do it. But they're gonna be begging for those Mexicans and whoever to come back. See, those people came down. I'm gonna tell you how this the first started. They from came up from Mexico. Most of them come just to work and then go back home. Because see, the money that they make in the United States, to us, that's not a lot of money. But for living in Mexico, it is. A lot of them were living good in Mexico by coming here, picking fruit because that money goes a long way there. Many Americans go to Mexico and live because they get their retirement from the United States, and things are cheaper down there, and they live a lot better. But now that makes the president of Mexico putting them out, and I don't blame him. We can't come to yours, you can't come to ours. Those people will come pick the fruit. Most of them went back home because they was able to live better in Mexico with the money they made than they could here. Like what most of that stuff they're saying just lies. They're gonna pick them. They criminals, they thugs. Now you picking them up at work, at church, dropping the kids off at school. That don't sound like no thugs and gangsters to me. Sound like some people you just want to pick on because you're trying to stop the browning of the United States. You want to keep that majority. Trying to stop the browning. Since Obama became president, they went crazy. They're getting too brown. Because see, the Latinos did help to get Obama in. They usually don't vote for black candidates, but they voted for Obama. And they fooled them. They've been angry at the Latinos ever since. And Trump just using them for publicity stunt. See what happened is most of the Latinos I know. So I lived in LA for quite a while. I knew a lot of Latinos out there. They come to town and stay. Some of them had places out on the farm. Well, you know where they kept them to stay. They come to town and stay. And when the harvest season was over, they went home. They tell me, well, see you next year. I wasn't working on the farms, but I knew them. So I'm getting ready to go home. See you next year. Okay, see you later. Does that sound like some thugs and criminals to you? Don't to me. Sound like some people who just trying to make a living. And that's what you said this nation is about. Land of the free, home of the brave, and you can make it here financially. Now we're finding out the United States is a farce. People in other parts of the world are living better, working less. All we're doing here is working ourselves to death just to stay broke. Gotta pay for every little thing. Canada Africa, Europe, most of those places you don't have to pay for health care. It's free. But you know why? I told you before why you can't have it here. White people are afraid that people of other nationalities are going to get it. They don't want them to have it. They cut off their nose to spite their face. Oh, they should stop having babies. They have many babies that they can take care of. Ain't none of your business. And that's what you're angry about. See, that's why Trump had abortion stopped. White women weren't making enough babies. They weren't having enough babies. And still not. They just, many of them just don't want to have them. Yeah, just don't want to have them. It makes somebody have something that they don't want to have. Yeah, but they have they they are and now this man is so diabolical. He's hurting his own women. Told you that earlier. They're doing diabolical stuff to white women. They're dragging white women in the streets. Some of them go out there and hip the Latinos. See, black people not going on. We go out there, they're gonna turn it into a riot, coming after us, make it a riot. So we just laying back. We've done enough of that. Not that we don't care. Yeah, but they're dragging white women in the street, beating them. They're not discriminating against who they beat though. And you know what? White people tear this country up. They're not like us. We come with all this we gonna pray, we gonna get this together. The white people, you wrong them too long. They'll tear this country up. That's why Black Lives Matter got a little, little rough there because black people weren't really marching in Black Lives Matter. It was mostly white people. See how white people got hurt or killed? All the people that got hurt or killed weren't even black. Because we know how to do it with all that going on. We see them people with them rifles, we don't pay them no attention. Oh, we be strapped. But we don't pay them no attention. But if they try to do something, they're going to find out. They're going to FAFO. But that's the way you do it. Even remember the couple that pulled a gun on the people over in St. Louis? You know what they said? Well, we don't see what the problem is because it was white people who we pulled it on. Told you black people haven't been doing any marching. You know what? I record that stuff. I don't get involved in it because I don't believe in peaceful protests. But the thing is, I was about 5 minutes from seeing that. I turned away and left, and I'll tell you why. At the time, Lyda Crewson was the mayor, and they said that they were going to the mayor's house, protest. And I had, hey Josie, how you doing? Long time no see. Yeah, but look, I didn't go because they was getting ready to turn in that gate, and I left. I was just minutes away from seeing that. The reason I didn't go is because I didn't agree with that tactic. I feel like if you're going to boycott or march against the mayor, not boycott, but if you're gonna march against the mayor, go do it at City Hall. I don't agree with going to their private residence to do it, putting their family and everybody in it. And the thing that they were marching about, she had nothing to do with. It happened before she was even mayor. Now, I never go to anyone's private residence and march on their house. Go to their office, because that's where they do the work at. I tell you, I wasn't but minutes behind that. When they pulled the gun out, I just couldn't do that. I'm not going to someone's house and protest them because of their office. I don't do that. They saw nothing wrong with it. If that's what they want to do, fine. I can only control me and what I do. Because I wouldn't do that to any man or any person because of their job. If you had a job and people was gonna protest you, I'd never come to your house. I think they did to this woman on the school board one time. She got mad. Well, she got angry. And I don't blame her for getting angry, for coming to her house. Go to the school board and protest. So we gotta do things the right way. Now, you know what? There's a Charlie Kirk. They just thought a black person did it so bad. Black person or Latino person. That's who they was looking for. That's who they wanted. But you know what? I already knew it was a white male MAGA. I already knew it. And I called it just right. I even told some people that. The same, didn't I tell you before, the same man who supposedly shot Trump, he was a white male MAGA. A lot of them getting angry with Trump. And when these white folks get angry, they don't get angry like we get angry. They're going to get down. Like I said, Charlie Kirk wasn't murdered. He said some lies had to be given to help keep the Second Amendment. He just wasn't counting on it being his life. So he wasn't murdered. He was just a Second Amendment sacrifice. So why is it good for other folks to get murdered and not him? And you know what? There was a school shooting on the same day that he was shot. The mainstream media said nothing about it. That's why you have to go to a lot of these internet places. Or Google it and fact check it and all, because see, a lot of these people are, I tell you, the news is not posting stuff because they're scared of Trump. They think he's going to sanction them, or scared of what he's going to have the DOJ do to them. I say what I want to. I mean, whatever they do, I deal with it. I've been there, done that. They're not thinking about me. I'm not that big time. I hope to be soon. If y'all would like and share my stuff, I hope to be. Because I have a lot of subscribers to my YouTube channel, but you are not liking and sharing it. That increases the algorithms and it will make YouTube to distribute it more. Share me like you share the twerking and the fights. Share me like you share that. See, you share what you like. That must be the stuff you like. All that little silly stuff. But you won't share mine. Yeah, so I'm gonna get out of here. See, I'm not sleepy tonight. I didn't come on so late. Last night I was about to fall out of this chair repeating myself. Oh, let me stop. But I want to let you in on something. New Shining Light, Holiness Deliverance, non-denominational church at 740 Broadway in Venice, Illinois. They're having a toy drive. They're having they want to get toys for the children. So if you have some toys you can take by there, preferably new toys. And they give them away at Christmas, so they have a big thing at Christmas. And take some toys by there. You can take it on Sunday morning, or you can find the number and call the church. They That's New Shining Light Holiness Deliverance Non-Denominational Church. It's at 740 Broadway in Venice, Illinois. Where Bishop John H. Williams is the pastor. You can watch them. I live stream them. You can watch them. I've been live streaming. I've been recording, but usually on Tuesday I put up the entire service. Watch it. I think you enjoy it on YouTube. On See the Champions on YouTube. Also, New Mount Zion Primitive Baptist Church. It's at 43rd and Converse in Cahokia Heights, Illinois. They have service. I think the service started at 11. Matter of fact, I'm a member there, and I'll tell you why. The pastor is Elder Roger Allen, who happens to be my brother. So go by there, if you can, worship with them. So, well, let me take this down. Let me get back to my picture. But look, but that's what I'm talking about. We have to, we're going to have to get ourselves together. We're going to have to think of some strategies instead of just sitting around waiting to see what's going to happen. That's what we're going to have to do. That's what we're doing right now. Sitting around waiting to see what's going to happen. That's what the Democrats are doing. Sitting around waiting to see what happens. While the Republicans are cleaning their clocks. Gerrymandering all over the place. You knew they were doing that anyway. Should have been doing it. We're going to wait to see what Texas do. You don't have to wait to see what anybody do. Just do it. See, the Republicans are proactive. The Democrats are reactive. As a matter of fact, the Democrats don't seem to respond to anything unless it's on social media and then blow it up in the news. Now all they're going to do is go have a press conference. We're tired of press conference. Trump is this. We know what Trump is. Do something. I'm tired of all these old press conferences. Do something. Well, Trump is trying to do this. We know that already. Do something about it. You're going to have to use some unorthodox means. But that's what they're doing. See, when you're dealing with someone, you playing by the rules and they're not. They have an advantage on you. And they're going to have an advantage on you. I remember when we used to take kids to play basketball. You all remember R.J. Krause. And sometimes the referee would just let them play any kind of way. Mr. Krause would tell them, R.J. Tim said, look, I teach my kids to play by the rules. Now, if you're going to let them play any kind of way, then I'm going to cut mine loose. And then R.J. had them kids from the streets of East St. Louis. He cut them loose. And then when they get a 50, 60 point lead, he put the, kind of slow it down and put the other, not as talented players in there. But you had to let them catch up some, then put their foot on the gas again. Because you had to let them catch up because we weren't in a conference. And when you're not in a conference and you're really good, you're not going to get many invites if you go in there and just wear them out. So you have to give them a little break. Don't let them win, but let them think they came back a little bit, then put your foot on the gas again. So their coach know what you're doing. Because look, how many teams around here would play East Side in football if they didn't have to? See, Collinsville pulled out in football, Granite City pulled out all together because they couldn't compete. Collinsville can compete in basketball, but not football. But I say that to say that Democrats, to show you an example how when you're playing by the rules and the other people are not, they have an advantage on you. And you're going to have to make some amends, kind of change things around and put yourself back in the game, like we did with the boys. What the Constitution says, Hakeem Jeffrey, he's too weak for this job. He's not the man for this job right now. I heard he's a good organizer and all, but we don't need somebody to come on there talking all nice and kind, telling the guy, oh, I know you're a good man. He's not a good man if he's doing what he said he was doing. You don't have no more Republican friends. Face that. But see, but what I'm saying is that he's not really forceful in his speech. Jasmine Crockett is forceful, and she knows what she's talking about. Hakeem Jeffries really know what he's talking about, but he's too soft and easy with it. He's not forceful enough. Just use Jasmine as your mouthpiece. She'll get it out there. Or what's his name? Roy Green? Now he's a good one. Because these others, man, they just let them people come in and they're just walking all over them. They're trying to be all nice and kind. Oh, well, he's my friend. And nobody want to hear that. Not your friend no more. When he became Mac and doing the things he's doing, you should have cut him loose. So they were saying how, a lot of them go out to lunch. If you wouldn't be going out to lunch with me. You please poop past him like that big ugly bill and think I'm gonna go to lunch with you, you may not make it back. Yeah, when you dealing with tough people, you gotta be tough. If you be soft, they're gonna walk all over you. But yeah, as I say, Charlie Kirk, get ready to go. No. Why would I salute him? He made himself a sacrifice for the Second Amendment. And his family, I don't care. Like I told you, all those people I mentioned earlier, they had families. And they were being clowned. So I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. I don't have to put my stuff back up. Yeah, cause I'm got to go live in church tomorrow. We'll record it tomorrow. But look, stay vigilant and don't let these people fool you into coming out there in the streets. And I even suggest to the Latino people, stay out of them streets if you can. Everybody, stay out the streets if you can. But these protests is just going to get you thrown in jail and taken away. The white folks out there protesting, let them do it. That's what we're doing. The Latinos, I think you all need to stay home because they're going to be out there for you. Why would you go out there know they're looking for you? They don't care if you're legal or not. They're not going messing with Puerto Ricans. They're citizens. They vote in presidential elections. They have a governor, an elected governor. So they're not playing by no rules. So I'm going to call it a night, but I want to thank you for tuning in to No More Water Fire next time. Try to have a guest next time. They keep saying they're coming, but they won't show up. So I have to do it all by myself. Okay, thank you for tuning in.